Get Oscarized, and we ain't talking Pistorius. JR's Academy Award choices for 2012, Part 1.
Here at Alternate Reality, we have a first day sale, and in that first day sale, I pick 7 books, and I mark them at 40% off on the day they first come out. That's right, New Comic Day. And those Magnificent 7 are made up of 4 comics and 3 trade paperbacks. Now, that's every week here at the store, so be sure to stop down and save 40% off 7 of the hottest new titles that are going to ship this week.
Hey fans, it's the Super Bowl of motion pictures, the Oscars.
Just like we promised.
Yes.
This is JR's picks. We'll have Bo's picks too, but that might be up a little later. As of now, though, but we're gonna jump right on in this. But first of all, this is Jeff, the cameraman. I'm subbing for Comic Book Man, and he would be mad at me if I didn't say first that we're coming from Alternate Reality, the best comic book store in the city of Chicago.
The best.
Possibly the universe. But I have nothing back
That's
to
a
that.
lofty claim,
That
Jeff.
is quite a bit.
Lofty.
There's a really nice one on Jupiter, but I haven't been there in a while.
You have to hold your breath.
New owners. Gravity's very heavy. It's hard to walk out of there with more than 2 or 3 books.
Yeah, you break your breath.
All right, sorry,
Yeah,
we're
there we
wasting
go.
a lot of time.
We're
Let's
digressing.
jump right into the Oscar
picks
for the films of 2012. JR, what category do we do?
Let's
first?
start. We're gonna start at the bottom and work our way towards the big Kahuna, as they
Okay,
say.
I'm curious. What's the bottom?
Well, I shouldn't say bottom, but let's start like the Oscars do with an acting.
Okay,
award.
okay. We'll
Best
jump off
actor
with
in a leading role.
Best actor in a leading role.
Yes, we have Bradley
is-
Cooper,
Okay.
Silver Linings Playbook, Hugh Jackman in Les Mis, Joaquin Phoenix in The Master, Denzel Washington in Flight, and Daniel Day-Lewis in Lincoln. And this is the Duh Award for the year, because if Daniel Day-Lewis does not win this award this year, something is seriously wrong.
I guess at this point, if he just does an acting job, he's just going to get the Oscar.
If
Might
he
as well just give
appears
it when they wrap the
in an
film.
orange juice commercial, he will
And
get
the Oscar
best
goes
actor.
to
He
Forrest
will.
Sunkiss.
He's winning. Don't worry about it. He's winning. All right.
A fine job. It's hard to
Well, it's
argue
a-
with
it's
that
a great
one.
performance.
So Danny Day-Lewis, best actor in a leading role.
So let's move on to lead actor in a
Supporting role. I
role.
knew that one.
Alan Arkin in Argo. Alan
Okay.
Arkin, who's been working for decades in motion pictures.
Yes.
Robert De Niro in Silver Linings Playbook.
No chance.
Philip Seymour Hoffman
It's nice to
in
see
The
Mando.
Master.
Okay.
Tommy Lee Jones in Lincoln.
Mr. Happy?
And Christoph... He's so easy to get along with. Christoph Waltz in
Christoph
Django
Waltz.
Unchained.
I would give it to him.
Well, this
He
is
was a
this
fi-
is
was
the
a fine
big
performance.
horse race of
Okay,
the year,
right.
from what I'm getting from the industry. This is the big horse race right here. It's down between Tommy Lee Jones in Lincoln
Okay.
and the aforementioned Robert De Niro in Silver Linings
Okay.
Playbook. For me, this is not De Niro's best work. I don't think it is. I would go with Tommy Lee Jones in Lincoln because I think this is a really nice performance.
Plus, I look forward to his acceptance speech. It
Yes,
should be hilarious.
yes,
As he
and
spits and craps on everybody.
There'll probably be a lot of vile.
Have
coming
that,
out.
the censors better keep an eye on the dump button on that one.
Even though it's close, don't be surprised if Robert De Niro takes it. But I'm picking Tommy Lee Jones.
Do you think it's De Niro's time? Like, remember when John Wayne won? It was just because he'd been nominated and he'd been doing so many films that it was just his time. It wouldn't have mattered what he was up for.
I think De Niro gets this nomination because there's some actual work going on
Okay,
here. De
so there's
Niro's
some
been sort
substance
of
behind it.
writing for the last 15
Right.
years. He's been coasting.
Right.
There's some real acting work going on here. My problem with this role in Silver Linings Playbook, it's a little too much. He has a big scene. His big scene in the film is where he breaks down and has a good cry. And that scene doesn't work for me. It works for a lot of other people. It doesn't work for me. It feels real false.
Okay,
But
moving on.
Moving on. Actress in a leading role.
Okay.
It's ladies' turn. It's the ladies' turn.
We should have went with them first.
Jessica Chastain in Zero Dark 30.
Okay.
Jennifer Lawrence in Silver Linings Playbook.
Okay.
Emmanuel Riva in Amour.
A movie was on your top 10
Yes, was in my top 10 list. Naomi Watts in The Impossible.
Okay.
And watch me say this name, Quvenzhané Wallis
In?
Beasts of the Southern Wild. She's the little girl in the film.
Okay.
Who I think is a force of
Would
nature.
the Oscar get a lot of cachet if they gave it to her? Young, black, man, that would be
She was
perfect.
8 years old when she made the film. That would rock if they gave it to her. I don't think they will.
No,
I think it's
I don't
going
think
to
there's much of a
be,
chance.
and I kind of agree with this. I do agree with this. Jennifer Lawrence in Silver Linings
She
Playbook.
has the hot hand at the moment.
This is a 21-year-old girl who, when you watch her work, has the wisdom of the ages behind those eyes of hers, even though she's only 21 years old.
Is
and
this
only
her
done
second nomination? She got nominated for that Winter Bone,
Winter's
right?
Bone, yeah. And that was her first major film,
Right.
was Winter's Bone. She's done Hunger Games since then, and now Silver Linings Playbook. And she's really, when you watch her, there's a lot of elements to her performance. There's a lot of levels to her performance, and it's all coming out of a 21-year-old, and it's pretty remarkable to watch. I also really like Jessica Chastain, too, and I wouldn't be sad if Jessica Chastain won this award. But we're guessing, So the guessing
That's
game
what
says...
they call predictifying.
Exactly, Jennifer Lawrence. Moving right
Moving
along.
on to supporting actress.
Boy, you're our prognosticator, Jeff. You should be doing these.
It just goes to show you I'm listening. I'll never do that again, Jr. I'm sorry.
We have Amy Adams in
Yes.
The Master. We have Sally Field in Lincoln.
Okay.
Anne Hathaway in Les Miserables. Helen Hunt in The Sessions, who has
Wow.
not been in movies for a while.
No.
And Jackie Weaver in Silver Linings Playbook. This is Anne Hathaway's year. Anne Hathaway, who was also in Dark Knight Rises and who gave a surprisingly good performance in that film from a lot of people who didn't think she was going to be very good as Catwoman. She came across very well. But in Les Mis, which is a movie that your humble reviewer was not a big fan of.
So, isn't that going to weigh against her as far as her getting the Oscar?
No,
As far as this was a vanity project, for lack of a better
It is.
approach.
It's also up for Best Picture of the Year. Don't forget,
Yeah,
it has a lot of support. But for me, Anne Hathaway, who's not in the film very much, she's in it for about 15 minutes, but she makes those 15 minutes count. She's the only thing you walk out of the film remembering. When she sings her song, everybody has talked about "I Dreamed a Dream" as her big number in the film, and everybody has said, and it's almost become a cliche, oh, that's the one scene in the film. And yes, it's true. That is the one scene in the film where you watch her and she's doing things in that nobody else in the rest of the film is doing. It made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, that sequence, and that's always a sure sign of greatness in JR's book
in a movie that you didn't really care for
that I didn't
overall.
really care
Yeah.
for. And when she exits the film about half hour, 40 minutes into it, you feel the wind go out of the sails of the rest of the movie, and it never recovers from that. I think she's walking home with the little gold guy.
If she doesn't, who's her stiffest competition?
Her stiffest competition would probably be Sally Field in Lincoln. And that's another really good performance. It's something that could be considered sort of a showy role, but Field doesn't take it there. She plays it very reserved. So
No, it was a nice job.
yeah,
Nice
Anne
job.
Hathaway in Les Mis.
Okay.
Best animated motion picture.
Do they only nominate three? Or only
No,
three?
we've got five this
Five.
year.
Okay, shoot.
We've got Brave from the folks at Pixar.
Okay.
We've got Frankenweenie from Tim Burton.
Okay.
Paranorman, The Pirates, Band of Misfits, which is a UK film, and Wreck-It Ralph. Now, the conventional wisdom is saying Wreck-It Ralph right now. Mm-hmm. I'm going Brave because I think there's just enough there. It's not one of my, by any long
I
shot.
think it was a bit of a misstep by Pixar, and
It's-
usually you count on them to do this kind of a movie very well.
I gave the film a thumbs up, a marginal thumbs up. I don't think it's in the Cars or Cars 2 category of being completely...
as bad
yeah,
as-
exactly.
But it's not in the Up or
Not
Incredibles
or
category
Wall-E
either.
category for
Wall-E,
that matter.
right, also another nice movie.
But I think there's enough there. There's enough heart there. There's enough story there to give Pixar another win. If not, it's going to be Wreck-It Ralph, which I thought was a decent enough film, but another kid assault on the senses as
See,
far
now
as
I like Paranorman a lot. I'm not predicting this stuff, but as far as that goes, I would have picked Paranorman.
Paranorman.
That's what I would have voted for. Anyway.
All right, now, what is the most important thing outside of direction in a motion picture? The writing.
No, the writing.
The writing. People
Not the
like it.
cinematography.
Well, it
No,
all
I'm
comes
just-
down to
I'm
the
messing with
screenplay.
you.
No, I
Not
don't.
with the
Quit messing with
craft
me.
service table.
Yeah. If it isn't catering, then what's good is the
What,
movie.
no shrimp?
And we have two categories always. in the
Okay,
Oscars.
we're
There's
going to write adapted screenplay.
that is it. Adapted
Okay.
screenplay, which is a screenplay written from something
Other
from another
than,
medium.
yeah, like a-
exactly. Beasts of the Southern
Like a
Wild.
blog.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Beasts of the Southern Wild.
Right.
Life of Pi.
Right.
Lincoln, and Silver Linings Playbook.
Lincoln.
Yes, Lincoln was a adapted screenplay.
Okay.
Yes, why it says adapted screenplay, I don't know. That
Okay.
must come from another medium. Oh yes, it came from a fine book by Doris Kearns Goodwin that I read. That is really good. So
Okay.
sorry about that.
No,
It is going to be Lincoln because it's a great screenplay. It's written by Tony Kushner, who wrote Angels in America, playwright, an esteemed playwright,
Sure, makes
award-winning playwright. It's a great screenplay up until about the last 5 minutes of it, where we have that unnecessary scene that really doesn't need to be there.
I kind of think that if they hadn't done it, they would have been complaining that they hadn't done it. So
Probably.
it's sort of a trap.
Probably.
Either way, anyway.
If J.R. had his druthers, it would be Beasts of the Southern Wild. I
Okay.
think it's a better screenplay. But prognostication says Lincoln by
That's
Tony
right.
Kushner.
Yeah, you have to go with what you think's going to win.
Original screenplay.
Okay.
Which is
Written
not
for the
written
screen.
directly for the screen. We have Amour, Django Unchained, Flight, Moonrise Kingdom, and Zero Dark 30. I think this is the one category that Zero Dark 30 wins an award.
Okay.
A lot of people are saying it's going to be Amour. I don't agree with that. I think this is how they're going to award Zero Dark 30 outside of not giving it the big prize this year. So there you go. That's
Okay.
we doing. How are we doing time wise there, cameraman?
I think we get. Let's shoot. Well, what do you got left?
I've got that whole page right there.
Okay, let's break there, and then we'll come back. But I'm going to post them at the same time, so they're going to do 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You'll be able to bite
Pay no
off a
attention
little
to
bit.
this.
That's right. You'll be able to bite off a little bit of a less.
It's going to be in
chew.
chunks.
So let's give them the website. That would be Sarah's job.
Sarah.
For an alternate reality, there sure are a lot of potholes.
Okay, so once again, thank you, Comic Book Man, for letting me sit in the hot
Yes.
seat. And thank you, JR.
No problem.
Tune in to the next one where JR wraps up his best Oscar picks
Yes,
for
including
2012.
Best Picture of the Year.
You got to stick around for that. Well,
right
come
up.
back in a minute.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye. The Video Outhouse is brought to you by some of the finest people willing to work for free. This is a list of some of them.